Hello and welcome to the Hot Lap presented by Kingsport Tire and Auto Center. And we are here today with AJ Hamill, Justin McDuff, Mike Holtzclaw, and I'm Al Smith, your host, as we get ready to count down to the first race of the 2016-2017 season of the Lay Enterprises MP Roy Pro Late Model Series. The drivers have been hard at work over the off season. Practices just getting underway, and they actually had a practice on September 15th at the Stafford Motor Speedway, where we saw A.J. Hamill set the quick time of a 20.259, followed by Justin Fuller, Al Smith Jr., Justin McDuff, and Guillaume Fortin. And we're here with Hamill. And AJ, you set a quick lap. What's the track conditions like so far early in the season?
Tight. Stafford is a tight track, easy to overdrive. Really got to get it wound down, turn in the center, try to avoid that wall coming off.
You definitely set a fast lap there. You ran a 20.259. It was 21 thousandths better than Justin Fuller. Tight field in qualifying. Everybody within a half a second of each other. With a new dynamic track coming out on iRacing, how much has that affected how the tires and the track interact? Is it more for your liking, or is it a little bit more unforgiving now?
I don't know if I've run enough to really say for sure. I've run a few truck races, an Xfinity race, and these late model practices. We did that long run, and I honestly can't say that it was much different, or maybe I just didn't know what to look for, but it definitely rubbered up a lot quicker. But I can't say that it made it any tighter or looser.
One driver that made it out for practice was a driver of the number 20 this season. Usually the Al Smith number, but Justin McDuff, you've taken over the 20 in the URL stables this year, and you struggled early in practice, but ended up rounding out in the P4 position. What's the biggest challenge for you at Stafford?
Well, I think the biggest thing with Stafford is just not overdriving the corners. Um, it's really easy to get in there a little hot, and then you pay for it in the middle and exit of the corner. And then if you get back to the gas too soon, you're fighting it off the corner. But with a new build, I noticed there's a lot more of the marbles that you see build up around the track, and it can make it a little difficult.
It definitely a lot more marbles throwing up, and I think if you get outside the groove, it definitely will cause some havoc. And the tires that we're running are brought to you by Kingsport Tire and Auto Care, and driver of the number 22 Kingsport Tire and Auto Care Center Pro Late Model is here with us, Mike. And Mike, I look at the speed chart. You were eighth in the Stafford practice, but steadily increasing on speeds and creeping up the charts every practice. How's it going for you early in this season?
It's definitely started out better this season than it did last season. I learned a lot last season running with you guys and practiced a lot in the off season. Uh, I've I've really worked on just taking my time and backing my corners up, not trying to drive it in so hard. It's definitely improved my lap times by doing that.
What last year you were in the rookie class of 2015-2016, first year out with us. What was the biggest learning curve for you? I mean, you and Hamill were both in the rookie division last year, and ahead to a lot of learning was in there. So I'd like to get both of you guys. We'll start with you, Mike. What was the biggest hurdle coming into a league for the first time, and especially with the caliber of drivers that seem to show up here every week at the Upstate Racing League?
At first, I think the biggest thing for me was is I tried not to run everybody as hard as I probably could, just so I could get to learn how they drive and plus learn the sim myself. This year, I'm not going to run them as hard as I can, but I'm going to try to run them a little bit harder to improve my position every week.
I think that's the key is this year, especially everybody's going to be is so close so far in practices. There's two practices down so far this season, and we just coming out of the Stafford Motor Speedway. And Hamill, what was the biggest challenge of 2015-2016 that you hope that's behind you for this upcoming season?
Only one. My my first memory when I thought, oh man, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. We went to, I don't know, let's say USA in the approval series, and I thought, oh, we'll just go out here and ride around early. And I tried to do that going into turn one and ended up getting put 3 wide. And I have a memory of Ada being the culprit on that. It might have been in the season. And that's when I realized that nobody around here is taking it easy. It's go from the green flag, and probably track position's important. You're starting in the back. There's only 100 laps. That was a huge adjustment because I prefer to take my time. But been a lot of racing this summer where that wasn't the case. So I hope that will benefit me in a few weeks.
Well, I've definitely seen an improvement in top of the chart. At Stafford on the 15th is definitely you're gonna have a target on your shoulders maybe for the season, as you weren't no slouch at Oxford 2 weeks ago either. So, but looking forward to this season, what's gonna be the biggest change um, overall with the series? We got almost 33 people signed up, which signups are open. Go to www.upstateracingleague.com to sign up today. But it's going to be a tough season. I look at the roster, and it's a very, very tight field just by looking at the roster.
Well, the biggest thing you did to us is we're not going to be able to not qualify and hang around the back at a lot of tracks, where it worked really well. I was talking to Mike about that a couple weeks ago. We could just not qualify, wait for the big one, drive through it, and oh, you look at that, you're in ninth. Didn't do anything. That happened twice, I remember. And you're not going to let us do that this year. We're going to have to qualify or go to a B feature quite a bit of the time, which I'm a little worried puts me right in the middle of that big one. But different year, different guys. We'll see what happens.
It's definitely going to be something. And then the B features, iRacing kind of forced their hand. When they redid some of the tracks, they took some pit stalls away. And, for the sake of competition, when you show up at a race, a local short track, or even a touring division, not all the cars make the feature. So add that a little bit more realism into this season. Mike, what is that going to be something that's on the back of your mind during practices, towards the end of practice or beginning of practice? Are you going to go out and try to lay down that fast lap to see where you stack up against the rest of the field?
I try to do a qualifying run every practice, at least one. I really don't think it's going to help me because I rarely qualify good. It usually takes me 5 or 6 laps to get up to a good pace for a good steady lap. I'm probably going to bank more on being in the B main for those races and trying to win it.
Yeah, those B mains sure will be exciting. Looking at the roster right now, looking at some of the Nine Shies Autosports rookie contenders, we got Travis Wallace in the number 86 this season. He's come on and ran in the approval series in the off season and has showed some speed. We got Paul Fugate and Alex Orions, and Alex, a newcomer to the series. He's been pretty quick so far in practice. Justin, what are your thoughts on some of the rookies that we have contending for Rookie of the Year this year?
It's definitely a talented pool of rookies. I mean, in the rookie series, there's quite a few of them that, and I noticed they all got better as we went along, and I expect the same thing to happen when we get to the pro series. There was a good class last year, and I was a part of all three of us actually, besides you, were a part of it. So I expect big things out of them. And going back to the question you brought up previously, I think there's going to be a lot of anxiety on race night, especially for the rookies because they're trying to battle for the Rookie of the Year. They're going to be battling to try to get into the chase. So it's going to be really interesting for those guys, the ones that are relatively new and still getting a feel for the late model and for the new build and the tires to try to figure out their way and qualify.
It's definitely going to be something, and we will be announcing next week the races that won't have any tires in the pits. I know that the admin and the driver council is working very hard just to make sure that we're making the right call on those races. So we will make that announcement next week on this show. One guy that I want to give the top of the So the rookie series, rookie contention this year is going to be very tough. But we want to thank some of our sponsors right now, and we got two guys with us. And first we'll start off with you, Hamill, with VermontFantasyRacing.com. You guys have a very exciting contest that's getting ready to start up this weekend. How can someone get involved with VermontFantasyRacing.com and have a chance to win the special chase contest you guys got going on?
Well, you go to www.vtfantasyracing.com, and the very top post on the website right now tells you how to do it. If you're new, you got to go sign up. Use the registration link on the right. Maybe I could tell you what the contest is.
Yeah, I mean, I signed up the other day. I've been playing all season long, which is definitely a lot of fun. It puts a little bit more meaning when you're watching NASCAR on the weekend. It's a NASCAR fantasy racing for those of you that haven't checked it out yet while listening to the show. But Hamill, specifically for the chase contest, walk us through how's it work and what's up for grabs.
Sure. Think of it like your March Madness bracket for NASCAR. You're picking which guys are advancing each round, who's the overall winner, and as bonus points, you can pick who's going to win each week. Each race doesn't have to be a chaser. Whoever you think's going to win, get your bonus points. And simple as that, most points wins. Each selection in different rounds are worth different points. That's all listed as you sign up. $5 to get in. Cheapest 10 weeks entertainment you're going to have.
It's definitely a good time. No hard feelings, but I'm hoping I kick your butt in this contest.
I'm not so good at this one.
Yeah, but anyway, it's such
it's a challenge.
It is definitely a challenge, as we found out. Justin McDuff has been playing VermontFantasyRacing.com this year. Hopefully, some of you out there listening will sign up next year. And before Sunday, is it the 18th is when I think the NASCAR race, the chase begins for the Sprint Cup. So hopefully some of you out there listening will sign up and join with us, and maybe you can take down one of the URL competitors in the VermontFantasyRacing.com chase contest. So once again, Hamill, how does someone sign up?
You go to vtfantasyracing.com. There is a banner link right on the URL page as well. The register link is on the right side if you're new to the website, and the contest information is right in the top post. You got to sign up by 2 p.m. on Sunday for the Chicagoland race. All choices are made right now before the chase starts, and you don't have to do anything but get really frustrated as the contest goes on.
Is there any?
Have a lot of fun.
Well, I usually get frustrated for these things, but that's just how it goes. I always seem to get shafted like Kevin Harvick does in the pits. So, but no, it's definitely a good thing. I think everybody out there listening should definitely go over and sign up and have a chance to race with us at VermontFantasyRacing.com. So we'll put a link here and underneath the video, and hopefully we'll get some more competitors in there. We got about 10-15 signed up already, so it should be a good time.
I hope so. If the more URL guys we get in there, you get a little extra competition. Thursday night, talk a little smack with each other. Just adds to the fun.
Yeah, I'm a donor to that. I know my money went to waste in that league. I didn't do so hot with my pick, so pick better than me. Don't copy me.
And so they're both referring to our season-long contest, which you got to sign up for in February, and we'll be back telling you about that next February. But there is a contest starting this week as well.
Definitely a good time, and we got to thank you guys for stepping up and sponsoring the a chase race in February at Stafford, where we just were, and I think you're gonna put that car up on jack stands and not touch it till we get to chase time. I have a feeling.
Yeah, car's perfect, Harry.
Well, this show would not be possible without our good friends at Kingsport Tire and Auto Center. And Mike, you are an employee there, and we thank you guys for believing in the Upstate Racing League and on this and the show. Tell us a little bit about the shop. Where is it located, and how can folks find you?
We're located in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's kind of right on the Virginia-Tennessee line, right beside Bristol, Virginia and Tennessee. You can find us on Facebook at Kingsport Tire and Auto Care Center, or you can find us on our website at Kingsport Tire and Auto Care. We do online appointments. You can call in, do appointments. We also offer a Goodyear card with 0% financing after $600 for 12 months. It's every one of our techs are ASC certified. I'm actually the ASC certified master tech there. We do any type of auto repair that you need done. We can do it there.
Definitely sounds good. And you guys are also the proud tire supplier of the URL this year. And I got one of those Goodyear cards. And let me tell you, these racing tires are not cheap.
But you keep buying them because I need to buy some more tools.
We will do that as we get ready for the 2016-2017 Lay Enterprises MP Roy Pro Late Model Series here at the Upstate Racing League. And boys, next week we're gonna be coming to you from the Five Flags Speedway, one of the tracks in the chase, and we can't really wait for that. It's gonna be the race on February 9th. So we've done a lot of practicing for races that are deep in the series. How do you think that's going to relate to the start of the season?
Well, I think we've had some pretty good turnouts for practice. I think that next week I can expect more of the same. And there's been a pretty good spread of guys. I noticed at the time seemed like they're really close. So I'm expecting it to be really, really close when we get to the league actually starting up when we get going. Especially in the chase, it's going to be intense.
It definitely will be intense. The season kicks off October 6th at the Iowa Speedway for the Lay Enterprises MP Roy Inc. 100. Last season, it was won by John Ada. And boys, it's been a pleasure tonight. I hope you guys have been listening, have enjoyed yourself. And this is one of many shows to come. For AJ Hamill, Justin McDuff, and Mike Holtzclaw, I'm Al Smith. Thank you for listening in for the URL Hot Lap show presented to you by Kingsport Tire and Auto Center. We'll see you on the track.